Guys, how are we all doing today? I hope you guys are doing very well. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of an Entropia talk. First though, I do need to address, I've been gone for about a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks. Okay, so essentially what happened was, early last week, I developed a, kind of like just a tickling in my throat. And long story short, I lost my voice before I could actually record anything. Last week I was planning on recording, a batch of content to release, over the space of time. And, it just didn't happen. So, if you're wondering where the hell I've been, that's pretty much where I've been, man. I've been not here. I've been, just very, very cooped up, a little bit sick. Had to go to the doctors and all that sort of stuff, but turns out it was just something viral. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. I know a few, people are getting censored for saying that, but it wasn't that. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about my methodology, and while I talk about it, I'm going to be doing this daily Shinkabar hunt. And I have a general, I do believe there are Shinkabas up this way, so I'm basically going to be going up there and hunting a bunch of Shinkabas. If I can't find any, then, I'll just hunt whatever's around there. I know Darkbas are around here, and from memory, Shinkabas are around here as well, so at least they were. So, yeah, we've got a bunch of Darkbas. And I think further along we got some Shinkabas. A Shinkiba. So we'll be hunting some Shinkibas. Some Shinky boys. Yeah, I think they're this way. I think they're more up this way. So, just head up down this way, and then hopefully we'll find some Shinky boys. More Diakbas. But I'm certain. I am certain there are Shinkibas up this way. So in this video I wanted to talk about my methodology, right? Because I see a lot of, well, not a lot, but I see a lot of, like, various people doing things differently to what I do, and that's, like, good. Doing exactly the same thing as everyone else can be a bit stale. It can get pretty stale, But I have a specific methodology to how I play this game, right? So, I do deposit. Not a lot, but I do deposit. And, just for reference, we got 100 PED worth of ammunition, and we're just going to be using up the rest of our LR25, because I can. And we should probably... Oh, I have a Shinkapa challenge, cool. Alright, cool. So I got a challenge and I'm doing a daily. So, my methodology when it comes to this game is it's very specific. I have a specific amount of, well, not specific, it does fluctuate, but I have X amount of money that I get from my PED flow center, from my shares and from my land deeds. I have X amount of stuff that I get from that. Now, that stuff, the money that I get from that goes directly towards the markup of any weapons. Right? It goes directly towards the markup of weapons and the decay of my armor. It goes directly to that, right? Directly to that. Now, I have some good general knowledge of how much money I use per shot with pretty much all the weapons that I use. I think from memory the LR25 is around 13-14 PEC. So I tried to aim to get back at least the amount that I put in, right? So if I was to do like a 50 PED hunt, generally I would spend about an extra 5 PED on the, I'd spend an extra 5 PED on my like, I would want an extra 5 PED to get, like, put back onto the decay of the weapon. So I would generally spend 5 PED from the decay of the weapon, right? So my methodology, and it just allows me to just keep going and keep doing stuff, right? My methodology is I want to get a little bit more than I spend killing, obviously. So I want to get a little bit more than I spend killing to cover the decay of the weapon, right? The markup is generally covered by my PED flow center. So right now I get maybe 10 PED thereabouts per week from my PED flow center and my shares included. So I get around 10 PED a week thereabouts. And that goes directly to the markup of the weapons that I'm using right now. If I want to continue this, though, I need to increase the amount that I get from my PED flow, which means I'm going to have to invest a little bit more. But that comes with, that just comes with the Entropia universe territory. So, when I go out on a hunt, and I make back, I make back a couple of PED, right? Like, I make back what I spent, plus a few PED. To me, that's, gaining that little bit of a profit. For the simple fact that I use my PED flow for the excess. When I say excess, I mean markup and decay of armor. I tend not to count too much in the way of the decay of the weapon, because in my eyes, and I think a few other players as well, the decay of the weapon, we see it as an investment into our skills, right? All the skills we get down here, they have an intrinsic value. That they have a specific value. And if you were to buy it on the auction house, it costs a lot of PED to get these skills if you were to get it from the auction house. Instead of getting the chips, you get a weapon, you go out and use the weapon. That's generally how it rolls, right? That is generally how that stuff rolls. Now, I know there will be a few of you out there that disagree with my methodology, and that's fine. That's 100% fine. You're allowed to disagree with my methodology. But the one thing that I need to, the reason why I'm making this video specifically is because a lot of the times, okay, and this is going to sound kind of dumb, but I didn't take into account the amount of comments and stuff I'd get on videos. But I also didn't take into account that, people watching a video and subscribing might not have watched previous videos, right? Might not have watched previous videos, therefore might not understand my methodology. So I'm putting this out, this video out for a lot of the newer subscribers that might not understand my methodology all too well, or just thinks that some of the stuff that I'm doing just is nuts. Like, if I was to get, if I was to make back, if I was to do one hunt a week, right? If I was to do one hunt a week, 150 PED hunt a week, right? And I came back with 50 PED in loot, or just a little bit more, I would look at that as a win, because I went out, I got skills, I made back my PED, and because I'm only hunting once a week, not only did my weapon decay get paid for from my PED flow center, but the markup also got paid for. So that's my general methodology when it comes to, when it comes to hunting in general. I don't really have a methodology for mining, though. Mining is literally just a luck of the draw. It is literally just luck. There is no methodology when it comes to me and mining. Mining is still something that I've not fully grasped. I grasp the concept and I know how to do it. It's not something that I've sat down and thought of a solid strategy on how to play and all that sort of stuff. And you also got to keep in mind, I play this game for fun, but I also enjoy making videos, right? So I had to come up with a way so I can continue to make videos on this game and with this game, because it is a game that I do love a lot. I needed to figure out a method where I can make videos and play this game without a lot of money getting drawn from my pocket, my own expenses, right? I still need to budget this stuff in. And I think a lot of you guys would understand that. Like, well, if you got a big income, then, you know, it's peanuts, really. If you got a big income, you're able to deposit a lot into the game, then that's awesome, right? That's incredible. It's brilliant. And it's a lucky thing to have. Not many people have that sort of luxury to be able to do. And I haven't been around as long as, say, Serial Overdrive or Law Spade, you know, or Raven Jade. I haven't been around long enough to have built up enough of a ped flow, so I can be like, oh yeah, I get, you know, 50 to 100 PED each week. You know, I get 50 to 100 PED or more each week. So you know, so it's all good. You know, I haven't built that up. I get 10 PED a week, maybe. If I'm lucky, I'll get 10. Sometimes I might get double. But for the most part, I get what I get. So I need to be very specific in how I go about doing this. But, you know, it's one of those things where people will have their own way of doing things. People are going to look at the way I do things and go, no, you're wrong. You got to do it this way. Other people will turn around and say, hey man, whatever you want to do is it's up to you. And I think that's the sort of route that I tend to lead down. I show you guys the way I do things, and you know, I reckon you guys will maybe grab bits and pieces and be like, oh yeah, that's a good thing to add into my own way of doing things. But I'm assuming a lot of you guys already have your own way of doing things. Especially if you've been playing the game for like 6 months plus. If you've been playing the game like pretty steadily, like, you know, every day or every other day for 6 months plus, you've probably got a good grasp on what you can and cannot afford in game. How much you can afford to hunt per week or per month, whatever. And you've probably got a good grasp of all that sort of stuff. But, you know, I've been playing the game for maybe 4 years? I'd say about 4 years now. I'd still consider myself somewhat of a noob with a lot of things. I'm getting a lot of you guys saying, hey man, you should do this because, you know, it increases all of these skills. So like with my challenges and stuff, a couple of you guys have said, hey man, get dexterity and this and that because it increases these skills. It increases, you know, all of the things. I'm like, okay, cool. Hence why I've just been, like with these Shinkaber things, I've just been doing the dexterity because it increases other stuff. Hey! Got some swirlies on this one, guys. Sick! Like, I haven't played this game in like a week and a half because I've just been sick. So, yeah, swirlies are always good. Long live the swirlies! I mean, it was just a small global, but the swirlies haven't had a global in ages. And hopefully that will offset some of the costs. Hopefully. But, yeah. I was going to have this as like a big hunting video, but I'm basically just going to kill the rest of the Shinkabers. And like I'm going to kill the last like 25 Shinkabers that I need, and then I'm going to go back. Because I'm actually going to be doing I'm going to be using some stuff to do a swanting run later on, so I'm going to be doing that instead. I will be doing a couple of hunts this week. I'm going to be doing some smaller hunts. You know, I'm going to be doing smaller hunts I'm going to see what it's like using quote-unquote level-appropriate weapons and using X amount of PED, like, you know, smaller fish PED, like 25 PED, something like that. I mean, I know from testing at least for myself, I have a solid belief that everything comes from a, yeah, they're still Shinkers. I have a solid belief that everything comes from a place of a percentage. So everything you get back a percentage of what you put in, you know? And that's also another part of my methodology. And yeah, I've got time to explain to some of the new guys. So, some of you have, well, some of you know, some of you don't know. A patch a little while back basically got rid of the overkill stuff, right? So, whatever you put in on a kill, you're going to get a percentage back on that no matter how much you actually spend. That takes into account your armor, your weapon decay, and your amp decay, and all of that sort of stuff, right? So it takes into account all that. I believe it goes into a little bit of an algorithm, and then it says, hey, this this specific mob is going to give back 70%, or he's going to give back like 14,000% of what's put in, right? For examples. So, you know, 1, you'll make a global, 2, you won't make a global, you know? It all depends on the stuff. So my methodology is the quicker you can kill a mob, the more you're able to cycle through mobs, and the higher chance you get at getting that global or getting that HOF, depending on what you're hunting. Of course, this is going to be a non-issue once I get up to the point where it's, you know, it takes a lot of PD to kill a mob. Like, once I'm hunting things that are, you know, like, once I'm hunting on average things that are level 25 and up on average all the time, then that sort of methodology will kind of be tweaked significantly. But also, hopefully, by that point, I would have hopefully significantly more in my ped flow. Just because I would like to have more ped flow before I start hunting the level 25 guys and up. I do want to do a higher level hunt at some point, but I need to budget it in, you know. I gotta budget it in, alright? So I gotta be able to budget it in. If I'm gonna do like a level 25, like, let's say I'm gonna go and hunt the oh, what are they called? Ambulimax. If I'm gonna go and hunt some ambus, then I'm probably gonna want to be using like 200 to 300 PED, like probably leaning close to the 300 PED, and I'll probably break it up over like a few different, like a two-parter video, right? That's what I'd do. But right now, I don't really have the ped flow to really justify and get to that. I could deposit like maybe once a month. I could deposit like, well, here's the problem, right? So for every dollar that I spend, because I live in Australia, for every dollar that I spend on Entropia Universe, it's gonna cost me a lot more. It's like gonna cost me an extra like 50 cent. So if I was to spend 15 US dollars, I'm actually spending like 25 Australian dollars, which is fine for like once a fortnight, maybe getting that sort of stuff. But like, if I really want to do like big hunts all the time, I need to have like just a better ped flow, which I'm going to be working on. I'll be working on it. You wait and see. I'll be working on it. So yeah, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to fly back, and then we'll see what we got, and see if that someone loves me. See if that global made any difference. Oh, I should probably point out the reason why I'm not burning through all of my ammunition is just because I'm like, with this hunt specifically. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing my daily missions. I haven't been doing my daily missions, so I'm gonna be doing my daily missions as like the best of my abilities as I possibly can. I'm gonna be doing my daily missions, and hopefully, doing the daily missions will also help to offset the cost of weapons, because I'll be able to then get weapons from my daily mission tokens, from my daily tokens and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna be doing some daily missions as well. So maybe I'll add in, you know, maybe I will record my daily missions, because fun shit might happen, kind of like with Kind of like with what happened today with the global. Okay, so first we've got to establish what we got left. We got 68.28 PD, so we want, what would that be? That would be, 32.72 PD? Maybe? I think? I don't know, let's just look at what we got. Yeah, we got close. Close but no cigar. Yeah, we got close to breaking even, but we didn't break even this time. Even with that global, we didn't break even. That's why, you know, sometimes it pays to look at the way loot's going. Today wasn't really a bother for me because, you know, getting that little daily token, like, you know, getting that little daily token that I could put towards the rest of my tokens is good. And I got a little bit of fruit, and I got some construction material, so it's not, I got some Nova Fragments, so it's not the worst thing in the world, you know? Not the worst thing in the world, but that happens. So, just a quick recap before I finish up. A quick recap on my methodology. Markup for weapons and armor decay, they come out of my ped flow. It comes out of my ped flow, like my in-game ped flow. I try to get back the decay of the weapons from my loot, but I'm not too worried about it because those weapons themselves go directly towards my personal skills, my overall skills. So that is my methodology. When it comes to like hunting and all that sort of stuff, you guys know my theory on the percentage theory, so I don't really care about like overkill and stuff like that. It just it's not something that bothers me at all. So yeah, that's my methodology. For you new subscribers, that is the methodology that I run off of. So in the future, when I have more, like when I do other videos and I'm doing things in a specific way, then you'll be able to go like, that's why he's not accounting for ammo. Like that's why he's not accounting for the markup of the weapon, or that's why he's not accounting for the armor decay. All right. So now that I got that one out of the way, yeah, let me know what your methodology is. Like, do you have a specific methodology? Do you have a video on your channel talking about your methodology of playing this game? If you do, let me know. I'll go and give it a watch. So, with saying that, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm feeling better, so more videos are going to be coming out. And before I get sick again, because it's, you know, it's getting into like the colder weather. I know I'm going to get a cold. It's just inevitable. Before I get sick again, I'm going to make sure I have like at least 3 videos a week in storage just to put out there. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, hope you have a good one, and I'll see you guys later.